Alright guys, this is going to be a GT350 and S550 Mustang specific video, particularly to solve an annoying dash rattle. Now, I had this problem on my 2015 GT Performance Pack. Within a couple of weeks of owning it, I went absolutely insane trying to figure out where this rattle was coming from. I ripped the entire dashboard apart. The cluster came out, the steering column trim, all of the aluminum trim, the headlight switch. I removed the lower, knee airbags. I removed everything from the dash, including the air conditioning vents and everything. And I couldn't figure out where this vent was coming, this noise was coming from. So it drove me absolutely insane. Like I said, the process of elimination is how I go about finding a lot of these annoying noises and how I go about fixing them. You start to remove parts of the car, you test drive it. You start to remove a little bit more, you test drive it again. When you get to the point where you pretty much removed everything and it still makes the noise, that's when you say, you know what? The noise is not coming from the location that you think it's coming from. And this is so ridiculous. Wait till I show you guys where this noise and resonance and buzz is coming from. The noise doesn't happen all the time. It seems to happen during different seasons of the year, especially in New York. When it's warmer out, you don't really hear it. When the temperatures do drop below 60 degrees, if it rains for a couple of days, you'll start to hear it. Now that it's in fall, we're in the middle of September, towards the end of September, the temperatures are fluctuating. We're not getting the 90-degree weather anymore. And I started to hear this the last couple of days. And like I said, this may not bother a lot of you guys, but this bothers me. If any of you guys out there have Porsche GT3s or have other higher-end cars and are used to having a car that doesn't make buzzes and rattles and annoying creaks and squeaks, then this video is for you guys. If you don't care, if you, like I said, you just don't care about noises, just skip the video right now. Don't waste your time looking at it. It's not going to benefit you whatsoever. But if you want to fix any of these annoying nuances with this car, start to watch some of my videos. I posted the video up about the shifter buzz. That's a proven solution. There's about 30 plus cars already that I know of that have been repaired that way. This fix that I'm going to show you today, I fixed about 18 cars on my own. I had people drive from all over the north and southeast, coming from events. They wanted to stop over at the shop, and I just did the quick fix for them. So I'm going to pause the camera. I'm going to go under the dash because that's where the noise is coming from. It's not coming from the cluster area. When you hear it, it almost sounds like the plastic is making noise. And I started isolating all the plastic-to-plastic contact up here with felt, with the 3M window weld, and I was still getting the buzz. And I said, something is driving me absolutely insane. So take a look at this. All right, guys. Hope you guys can get a good view of what I'm trying to show you here. This is the driver's side kick panel area, right above the plastic kick panel on the driver's side. There's a module here with the fins. This is for the audio system. I believe it's an amplifier or a signal processor. I'm not exactly sure. If you look at it carefully, there are two 10mm bolts that bolted in on the bottom below the clips, and then up top there are two tabs that slide into slots. Listen to this. I hope the audio can really pick this up. And this is how you find rattles. You just got to start hitting stuff. You hear that? You can hear the resonance. So this is where the problem's coming from. And being that it's mounted to the metal right below the instrument cluster, it actually simulates having a dash rattle, whether it's, coming from the cluster area or not. And I tore my other car completely apart. Could not find it until I went down below and I found that this was the source. I removed it. I'm going to show you what I did, and it's a proven solution to fix this problem. So anybody that has a 2015 to a 2018 Mustang, I believe the 2018s probably have the same configuration. I highly doubt Ford retooled everything and changed this up. But I'm going to do a before and after so you can see the difference. It's annoying. So stay tuned. I'm going to unbolt these two bolts here, and I'm going to put it. All right, guys, I just want to show you with the module removed, there's a slot up top, and believe it or not, on the GT350, the tab was not even really sitting in that slot, which is probably causing a big issue. But I'm going to show you that on my car, the 2017, they actually put some felt on the two ends that go into this provision, but it's not enough to solve the problem because the problem is between the bracket and the actual module itself. And I'm going to show you how we're going to isolate that on the bench. So taking this out is a little bit of a pain in the ass. There's an 8mm bolt up on the top, and then there's the two 10mm on the bottom. So what I usually do, you're going to want to pop out the kick panel. It just makes your life easier. You're probably going to cut yourself a little bit. This is the hood release lever. It's got two release tabs. What I usually do is I take a needle nose and then I stick it, squeeze it on both ends, and then this little guy right here pops right off, and you can just unclip the kick panel very easily. So we're going to go over to the bench. I'm going to show you what we're going to do. All right, guys, here's the module that we just removed from the car. You can see it here. Another part that's made in China. Fucking Ford. It's the Yangfen Vistion version. So anyway, so here's what we got. This is the backside where the bracket is. You're going to need a T30 to remove these three anchoring bolts here. Set those aside. This one was actually loose. This was the one that was torqued down the tightest out of all three of them. Okay, and as you can see, there's metal-to-metal contact between all these anchoring points. So what we're going to do, we are going to isolate this whole area here with the soundproofing material that I have on the bench right now. So we're going to isolate this whole section here with the mounting plate. And then where it comes to the tabs, we're going to wrap the soundproofing material. We're just going to eyeball this, and we're going to cut some material out. And you guys got to pick this material up, because if you want to fix any noises in any car, this is what's going to do it. Okay. So the only tools we're going to need is the soundproofing material, a pair of scissors, an X-Acto knife, which I got here, the roller, the Torx 30 to get the bolts off, and then we're going to go from there. So let's see. I'm going to trim this back a little bit. And then where the bolts go through, you want to cut a little bit of a relief, like I'm showing you here. See? And you want to do that on all three anchoring points. Just very easily. See? The two anchoring points here. And then we got the third one up here. Like I said, this is not something that anybody's ever going to see, so I'm trying to do it as neat as possible. We're going to peel this stuff back, and there's great stuff about this Butyl sound isolation pad. It's so damn sticky that you don't have to go crazy degreasing panels and stuff. I mean, it'll stick to just about anything. And we just lay it on like that. You know, use your fingers to kind of get it in there all around the recess. Okay. You could hear it already just by putting this on there. There's no buzz, because a lot of the buzz that you're hearing is coming from this back plate and coming from the other plate on top of it. So now we're going to sandwich the mounting plate against this material, and this thing is not going to move. You know, use your roller to roll it out. I mean, something like this, you don't have to go crazy with the heat gun. This is not a critical thing. We're just doing this for dampening purposes. Okay? So, we're going to put this back in like that. I mean, I don't have a torque spec on these bolts, but to be honest with you, just get them tight. You don't have to kill it. Okay. They bottomed out. Okay, it's bottomed out. Okay, now we got that bolted together. Now the 10mm bolts are going through here, these two locations here, and then the 8mm through here. So what we're going to do is we're going to take some more of the soundproof material and we're going to wrap it on both sides to dampen the contact points between these three locations here. And then we're going to take this felt, which doesn't seem to do anything, and we're going to wrap some material on that as well. So I'm doing this in real time. This will take you about maybe 20-30 minutes. I think the hardest part of the job is getting that 8mm bolt out because it's really wedged up in there. So I'm just using a razor blade to get the felt off. Okay, because this stuff's not doing anything for us. I understand the purpose of what they were doing it for, but they didn't do the right job on that. Okay, so watch. We're going to wrap this guy here. Like I said, you're just going to eyeball it. Okay. And usually when there's a hole and you're working with this material, just use your finger and that'll give you a little indent of where you got to cut the hole out for the bolt to go through. And then you just use the X-Acto knife. And there you go. You got a nice clean hole. Okay, so that's taken care of. We're going to do this guy over here. Same thing, just use your finger. And that's going to give you your index of where you got to puncture to cut your hole. Okay? Now we're going to go over here and I'm going to wrap this whole area. And I'm going to fold it over. So watch how I do this. Just going to line it up and you're just going to fold it over. Okay? And then you're going to squeeze it. Okay. Then you'll take the X-Acto knife and you'll trim it down. Okay. So you guys should be able to see this on camera. Okay. so now we're moving over to the last one. It's right down here. Now, like I said, I'm going to put a piece over here as well when we're done, because like I said, this is not something that you're going to be really having to access or service unless your car is in a flood or something and you have to replace it. But okay, so that's all cleared out. And you want to do a good job clearing out these holes because the stuff is sticky and you don't want to have an issue trying to get the screws in there. Okay. Trim this back. Fold it over. And this stuff is so easy to work with. You know, pick some up. You're gonna love it. You're just gonna get used to it. Okay, sandwich that in there. And then for the main section, we're gonna cut a piece just to eyeball it. Okay, and then we're going to just throw that on there. Peel it back, line her up. I mean, I'm banging this on my workbench, and you're not going to hear any resonance anymore because we just dampened the entire assembly between the bracket, between the module itself, between the mounting points of where it's going to go into the car, and that's it, folks. A little bit of time, a little bit of material. So I'm going to put links to the material I used. I mean, you got to pick this stuff up. If you want to fix rattles and noises in your Mustang or any car, this is how you're going to do it. You're going to start banging on things. You're going to start process of elimination. And then you're going to start following these techniques of isolating the contact to contact points between the similar materials and dissimilar materials in the car. Okay, so there you have it. Here's the module. You can see everything's protected. Everything's folded over. You don't need to put anything here because the bolts are going to go through there and that's going to be anchored in anyway. And that's it. That's pretty much it. So we're going to move over to the car now. I'm going to bolt this up and then I'm going to do a sound test when I bang on it. You're going to see that the noise is gone. All right, guys, we got the module mounted. It's a little bit of a pain in the ass to get it back, in there. I mean, it's very tight. You have some plugs and stuff up here to prevent the module from just sliding up easily. It'll take you about 30 minutes. Put everything on there like I showed you. Bolt it all back together tight and drive the car. I mean, you're going to be surprised that that little flutter and buzz that you thought was coming from behind the instrument cluster is actually down here. So, thanks for watching. There's going to be a lot more of these videos to come. And I hope you guys learned something. Any questions, post them in the comments below. But I'm going to do quite a bunch of videos on isolating noises in this car because, those are just things that annoy me. And it may not annoy everyone, but for someone that is annoyed by the noises, subscribe, stay tuned. There's going to be a lot of content coming. And that's it. You don't hear that extended resonance buzz. And I'm hitting this thing hard. Okay, my hand hurts now, so no more banging on the module. So I hope you guys had a great day. Any questions, post them in the comment section below. Thanks.